Welcome to the breakdown, episode 552, sponsored by Gemini and powered by Gemini. This says powered by Gemini, so I'll say powered by Gemini. Click on the link. Click on the links and sign up to Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto and get yourself some Bitcoin, $100 worth of Bitcoin. And this is powered by the GNN Network, Gokshi News Network. Shout outs to the entire team, all the media personalities. We're out here. We're giving out hot takes. Some people might not like it. We don't care. We speak our mind. Which we'll get to all the stuff that I want to speak about. I'm actually excited to see everybody. I don't know if the chat's working. The chat can tell me and let me know if the chat's working. Let me see if the chat's working. Hold on. All right, the chat ain't working. So, you know what? I think it's time for me to just move over to Kick. I think it's time for me to move over to Kick. I think it's time because, turn the music down. Thank you. I've given a lot to Twitter/X. I've given a hell of a lot of content year in, year out. Supported this platform. By the way, you can tune into YouTube, Rumble, LinkedIn, I don't know, all the other channels. But I've given everything I've given everything 100, 200, 300% effort on X to build my brand here. I gotta say that I have to eat some crow, a little bit. I gotta eat a little crow. Because when me and Akil started this show, Akil Patterson, aka Big Uncle, we talked about this purchase. We talked about this purchase and what could happen here. What could happen with this platform and what could happen to our content. And he was right. He was right. I can't believe I'm saying this. Akil, most of the things that you said, okay, not everything, but most of the things that you said were right. So I'm consistently shadow banned on here because my account consistently gets attacked, which it comes with the territory, so you can't be upset. It is what it is. But I think it's just time for me to move the show. Not saying it won't stream on X, but I think it's just time for me to move the show to Kick. Yeah, Kick and Twitch, I guess one of the two. And I guess I need to go ahead and speak to somebody there to go ahead and get the shit rolling, because I can't have it where I appreciate the viewership and stuff, but if my people can't talk in the chat, okay, if my people can't talk in the chat and they can't go ahead and hug it out with me here, then I gotta, and plus my platform's growing, right? So like, I get X is now turned into, I get X is turned into political stuff. And here's the problem. It's really hard with X because I can't give my political takes. I can't talk about politics. That is true, Landy. Like, you guys can't see each other, by the way. Anybody who's on YouTube can't see anybody commenting on X. This is so stupid that everybody can't talk to each other. So here's my thing. It's very. I love X. I formerly known as Twitter. Let me make sure I clarify that. I love everything that Elon's doing. I will always support this dude because I think he's done a lot of good for the space. If I tweet about politics, what happens is the algorithm takes me to political X. Okay. So I lose everything from the crypto side. And if I talk about crypto, it fucks with your. It's just the algorithm is fucked. I really do. You know, shout out to Alex Finn. I know he talks about the algorithm all the time. I respect it. He's been able to build his brand, but you know what? There, the algorithm's fucked. Let's call it for what it is. It is fucked. And I just feel like I would do better on Kick. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I still will multi-stream this show and any other show that we come up with moving forward. But I don't know. I just feel like even TikTok, I feel like being on TikTok would be more beneficial. And I know people will be like, oh, he's supporting China. But I'm saying I feel like it would probably be more beneficial. Because there you can't get lost. You can't get lost in the algorithm. As a personality, as a brand, you can't get lost. Here, as a brand, I get lost because I get shuffled through political Twitter, like I said, and then political crypto X. So it is what it is. Anyway, why am I venting on here? Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 552, powered by the GNN network, the Gakshi News Network. Shout out to all the media personalities. Also sponsored by Gemini. Shout out to Gemini. $1,000 traded on Gemini, get $100 in Bitcoin. A lot of you guys don't have Bitcoin, so it is what it is. Landy, the whole thing is, man, I do big numbers on TikTok. I do numbers here too, but it's just like the algorithm fucks you. So anyway, look, let's talk about the markets. We had a lot of green days. I discussed this today I had a discussion about this today on the morning show, Crypto Talk Radio. And I said one red day makes people go insane. Like one red day made everybody go insane. It's wild. People are talking about it's over. It was a fake rally. Guys, like it's a day. It's one day of one choppy day. Okay, and you guys are already deleting your accounts. What's wrong with you? Act like you've been here, man. Like I said, man, a lot of you guys need to start wiping your asses. A lot of you guys have to wake up in a better mood. And how do you wake up in a better mood? I told you guys, feng shui is the word of the day. Look at that. That rhymed just now. Feng shui is the word of the day. Clean your rooms up, okay? Clean up your room. Clean your underwears, or don't even clean your underwears. Put new underwears on, right? Clean your mirror in your bathroom so you can see yourself and see the slob that you are. This will make you feel better about yourself. It really will. It'll give you a perspective of where you are and where you need to be. Your environment does a lot for you. If you wake up in a shitty environment, okay? If you wake up in a shitty environment, you got pizza boxes all over the place, you're not going to be a successful person, and the energy is going to be completely off. If you wait, when your mom makes your bed, because a lot of you guys still live with your mothers, and that's okay. A lot of you guys still live with your mommies, and it's perfectly fine. When your mom cleans your room and like it's fresh, it smells good, like there's actually air coming into your room. You need to do that every single day. You need to have that set up every single day. That's what you need. That's what you need. And that will lead you to massive success. No, I'm not. I'm not, Landy. Landy? Landy, by the way, this is water, mountain. This is Mountain Valley spring water, by the way. Landy, no. No. That's when I sit in here and I'm working and I just can't get up to throw out the goddamn bottles. Okay. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let me take a. Actually, I got thirsty. Anyway, listen, I've always been into feng shui. I've always been into feng shui. Saging and feng shui, being in the right environment, surrounding yourself with the right people. I've always I've always protected my energy. I've always protected my energy. Um I know this is kind of like boring stuff for people, but that's why a lot of people are successful. The most Some of the richest and the most wealthiest people in the world apply these rules to make sure that everything's in order. Certain things are placed in certain areas to give you that energy that is necessary for you to succeed. I know this might be boring to you guys, but this is how rich people get rich. This is how wealthy people get wealthy. I'm telling you, it's structure. It is structure. Anyway, I don't understand the panic. I don't understand why people are panicking uh due to the fact that let's look. Hold on. Let me pull up the charts here. Unlike you guys, I don't stare at the shits at all. We're at 94,570. Okay, I get it. We were attempting to break 98,000, but it went down to like what, 92, 93. And now it's at 94.5 and we're complaining. Think about think about that. You have people complaining about the market being down and Bitcoin is at 94.5. It's weird. Um this has been, no doubt about it, this has been a Bitcoin run. This has been, if you have Bitcoin, if you bought Bitcoin when it was 15,000, 16,000, 3,000, depending on what cycles, you are up. You are up and you are in the green and you're in a great position and you can do a lot of things. You can do a hell of a lot of things. You can. You really can. You could do a hell of a lot of things. Shout out to everybody who had the belief to jump into Bitcoin when people said it was done with. People outside of this space were saying that Bitcoin's garbage. Why would you buy it at 3,500? I remember when Bitcoin crashed at 3,500. I won't even. I shouldn't use crash. I would say that it pulled all the way back to 35. Even for a second, it went to 3 and jumped back to 32, 33, 35. Shout out to everybody who bought it. I know a lot of people that I talked to during that time, they didn't hesitate. They bought. They didn't hesitate. They bought Bitcoin. And that's why they sit in a very, very good position today with Bitcoin at 94.5. They're not worrying, they're chilling. But Bitcoin maxis right now, which leads me into this topic, Bitcoin maxis no longer can just call anything securities. That's right. Bitcoin maxis every cycle would come out and call, everything but Bitcoin a security. They can't do that anymore. They can't do that anymore. And that bothers them because they need to figure out, and they continue to try to figure out a way to put down other assets or collectibles in this space. So now they've gone to the approach of saying that only 1% or 2% of people win in the meme economy or in altcoins. And it's just better for you to just put your money into Bitcoin. So to me, it's like Number one, why do you give a fuck what anybody does? It's not your money. It's, let's say, for instance, my money. I can do whatever I want with my money. Okay. I can go into whatever I like with my money. The crypto ecosystem doesn't revolve around Bitcoin. I'm a Bitcoiner. I love Bitcoin. I appreciate everything that Bitcoin has done, but it doesn't revolve around Bitcoin. There's more than just Bitcoin in our ecosystem. There have been so many people from multiple cycles that have won big and changed their lives by going into altcoins or meme coins. In 2017, 16, 17, people went into something, what was it called? ICOs. And a lot of people won big. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people won big. A lot of people won big. People who came in here with $1,000 walked out of here with multi-million-dollar bank accounts. Okay? And they bought Bitcoin too. But they also participated in everything else because they're money maxis. And that's okay. If the ultimate goal for people is to go into altcoins or meme coins and take those profits and put it into Bitcoin, that's perfectly fine. You had plenty of Bitcoiners or Bitcoin maxis mining Ethereum to only sell Ethereum to get more Bitcoin. So there's nothing wrong with that. And don't belittle people that want to participate in the altcoin market or the meme economy. Max Keiser, your leader, okay, Max Keiser, your leader, created an altcoin. Okay, what was it? Max Coin? Oh, let's bring up some memories here where he made a ton of money and threw that shit right into Bitcoin. So it's very easy. It's very easy to say, you know what? You know what? You guys shouldn't participate. Go into Bitcoin. Here's the, and this is what I can't, I've been preaching about this and I've been yelling about this forever. Bitcoin maxis, you don't teach anybody anything. You guys say nothing. There's only a few of you. One, maybe, let me change my wording. Most of you Bitcoin maxis do nothing to teach anybody anything. Okay? Anytime a new person enters the space and they're interested in Bitcoin, you fucking make fun of them and you push them away, which led them to go into the altcoins that you despised. So don't give lessons to people when you can't give the lesson yourself about Bitcoin, nor can you explain it. Even in layman's terms, you can't explain it. I've listened to you. I've been on Clubhouse. I've been on Bitcoin. I've been everywhere you've been, and I've seen the way you teach. You don't say anything. You guys make fun of people. Here's the perfect example. I remember when a young man came into a Clubhouse space, which was called Bitcoin Church. So here he comes into the Bitcoin Church, and everybody's sitting there. All the Bitcoiners, all you guys who specialize in Bitcoin, okay, you Bitcoin maxis, you're sitting there. I'm listening, I'm chilling. And here comes a guy who walks in and he asks a question about Bitcoin. And the response to him was, do your own research. Well, number one, when somebody's coming to a room, they are attempting to do research. That's why they came to a room called Bitcoin Church. Okay? So they come to Bitcoin Church. The room's called Bitcoin Church, right? Bitcoiners or Bitcoin maxis hanging in a room called Bitcoin Church. If I'm brand new, I'm thinking I can learn something from a room called Bitcoin Church and maybe get myself into Bitcoin. So no, this is what happens. Do your own research. But I came here, I just have a question. So what can I it doesn't matter. You can do your own research by looking on Google. But I have a question to ask you. I have a question to ask you. I'm not here to answer. This is what the response was. I don't have time to answer your questions. You're going to get into Bitcoin whether I tell you about it or not. So figure it out. And the 1,000 other Bitcoin maxis in that very room, because Clubhouse had the ability to hold as many people as possible without breaking down like X Spaces. Everybody in the goddamn room, or I should say, for the most part, most of the people in the room are dying laughing. Laughing their asses off that you just shut down a guy that was interested in becoming a part of the Bitcoin community, the movement, to understand what Bitcoin is all about. You had an opportunity to do something that mainstream media wasn't doing. And that was educating people on an asset that we now, I mean, it's not just now, but like most of you just now appreciate it, but a lot of us appreciated back then. So this is the way you taught. So what do you think the guy does? The guy says, fuck this. These guys don't want to go ahead and these guys don't want to help me. Let me find some help, right? And the help that he finds is somebody maybe in Dogecoin, maybe in Ethereum, maybe just maybe in Litecoin. I'm going back in the day for you, okay? I'm not spitting out any of the new tickers. I'm talking about back in the day. And that's not really back in the day. What? Clubhouse came out in 2020. So now, here's what Bitcoin maxis love to do. So here you have a man who came in, who asked you a question. You didn't answer it. You made fun of him. All of you chuckled and laughed. He left. He got into Litecoin. He got into Dogecoin. He got into Ethereum. And then when you heard about it, you would say, oh my God, you're in unregistered securities. You're a shitcoiner. Look at you. Ha ha ha. Look at you. Hold up. If you didn't want somebody to become a shitcoiner, if you didn't want somebody to go to a different community or explore, you could have explained it to them, right? You could have explained what Bitcoin is all about, Satoshi Nakamoto, the white paper. You could have done all that. You chose not to. You accidentally tripped into Bitcoin, okay? You accidentally tripped into Bitcoin and you decided to make fun of people that wanted to participate in the ecosystem. And then you wonder why people choose to participate elsewhere. Then you wonder why you stopped a lot of people from getting into Bitcoin at $4,000, $5,000, $7,000. We had the opportunity to onboard people when Bitcoin was at its lowest, but you chose to make fun of people because, hey, I tripped into Bitcoin. I'm talking to you, Bitcoin Maxi. You tripped into Bitcoin. So you didn't have to teach anybody anymore. You found a faucet and you got your Bitcoin. Somebody handed you some Bitcoin. Now your shit don't stink. So now I don't got to teach anybody. So don't be mad at people that are looking elsewhere. This is your fault. This is your fault. Don't be mad at somebody that tries to or goes into something other than Bitcoin. Don't be mad if somebody goes into Ethereum or Sui or Solana. Don't be mad at people. Be mad at yourselves. If it wasn't for, let me tell you something right now. If it wasn't for ordinals, you wouldn't have the current age group that you have now. You guys hate everything. This is why I can't, this is why I can't be around you Bitcoin maxis. You're the same fucks that are currently secretly holding Ethereum and other plays in your wallets, but pretend to just be Bitcoin only. You're full of shit. So don't start teaching people now, okay? When you had the opportunity, don't start teaching people now. Don't put them down for going into meme tokens. If that's what people want to do, this is a decentralized market, something you should know about. Decentralization, since you preach it all the time. If somebody wants to go into XYZ token, let them do it. It's their money. It's a free market. It's not your market, it's a free market. You don't have to participate in the casino. I don't go to the casino in real life. I don't go to the casino. And if the goal for people here is, if the game plan, if the blueprint for them is, I'm going to go into a meme token, I'm going to hopefully get a 10x, and then I'll have the possibility to acquire Bitcoin when it retraces, let them do whatever the fuck they want to do. You have no say anymore. You had say when the person walked in, knew nothing about crypto, knew nothing about Bitcoin. You had the opportunity to be an OG, okay? You had the opportunity to be somebody like some of the OGs to step up and say, "Here, I'll give you some links and some really good books to read. And if you have any questions and I have time, I'll be more than happy to go ahead and help you out." You have no right to call anybody shitcoiners. You turn people into shitcoiners. That's what you did. As I was saying, if it wasn't for ordinals, you wouldn't have the demographic you have now. Ordinals brought the 18 to 35-year-old crowd back to Bitcoin. Ordinals allowed people to understand that Bitcoin is worth, I mean, I can't even put a price on it. That Bitcoin is priceless and they must acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. That's what ordinals did. And you wanted to stop that. You wanted to stop ordinals. You talk to miners. You try to put together some crazy ass shit to make sure that ordinals would not exist. You're brain damaged. You have done nothing to bring people into this space. You've done nothing to bring Bitcoiners or I should say, new people into Bitcoin into this space. The meme tokens, the very meme tokens that you yap about, the people in the meme economy have done more to bring people to Bitcoin than you have ever done in your life. Okay? Period, said and done. There is no argument. The data supports it. So I know this time around, you Bitcoiners are looking, the maxis, not the Bitcoiner, the maxis are looking for a way to put down the meme economy, which institutional players like VanEck have embraced. And I'm sure they'll be embraced moving forward, as we've seen Doge has had ETFs put out there. I'm sure we'll have a Pepe ETF sooner or later. But you've done everything to push people away. Satoshi Nakamoto's vision wasn't to push people away. It was to onboard people from Main Street to get away from the fucking banks. And there's more, obviously. I can go ahead and break that down. But to get away from all this Wall Street bros, this fucked up system, this centralized system that has had us locked up in chains, our parents, decades upon decades, centuries. Here is Bitcoin to go ahead and be an option to save us from this shit. Decentralization, a beautiful word. A free market. Not your keys, not your crypto type of shit. You guys made sure, you guys really, this new graduating class or the graduating class of 2019-20 made sure, you guys made sure to push people away. Fuck, this goes back to 2017, but I'm going to keep it here 1920. Okay? Look at Bitcoin 2020, 21, the conference where you had a bunch of people who knew nothing about Bitcoin sitting on a goddamn couch preaching toxicity. That Bitcoin, the Bitcoin maxis need to be toxic and toxic. We need to be toxic. Where you had Eric Voorhees come out and smack you upside your heads for saying the stupidest shit that anybody's goddamn heard in their entire lives, that you need to be toxic. The only thing that I can appreciate about Bitcoin maxis is that you stand your ground about Bitcoin. And I love that. But Bitcoiners also do the same thing. But I love the fact that you'll stand in the front lines and you will not let anybody talk down Bitcoin. And that's great. That is great. 100% love it. But you have done everything possible. You have done everything possible to alienate people from Bitcoin when they first try to onboard themselves here. And it is the meme economy and it's the altcoin market that does the education. It provides the education for people trying to onboard themselves into this ecosystem, which leads to them getting into Bitcoin 3 to 5 weeks later. Because they understand that they can get Bitcoin at a fraction, that they don't have to spend $94,500 on a Bitcoin, money that they might not have. Okay? That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So relax with the shitcoiner shit. It doesn't play well anymore. Nobody cares. Okay? How about opening up Bitcoin church or Bitcoin rooms on Clubhouse and actually teaching people about Bitcoin in layman's terms? And maybe, just maybe, you'll get your way. You'll pull people away from participating in the meme economy, which to me, I don't understand what the fuck is the problem if people want to collect collectibles. What's the problem? You guys really are miserable. Miserable. Really miserable. Anyway, again, there's a difference, by the way, between Bitcoin maxis and Bitcoiners. If I need to do a goddamn segment on it, I will do that. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 552, sponsored by Gemini, powered by the GNN Network, Gokhshtein News Network. Shout out to the entire media company. Shout out to all the people that tune in from all the networks, from all the social media platforms. I appreciate you. It is Monday, May 5th. Don't get too drunk, okay? Don't drink too much. I can already tell that the people are really drinking out here. It is 2:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Want to give a shout out to Leslie, man. Want to give a shout out to Leslie. And today, the nightly news, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be back breaking down, obviously, everything that's happening in the world today, whether it's politics or whether it's in crypto. And right now, I need to make a decision too, whether I stay on X, formerly known as Twitter, or I move this to Twitch or Kick or even TikTok and have a bigger audience, bigger audience, and be able to blend in with the algorithm because I talk about everything. I talk about crypto, I talk about politics. You guys know. You guys know. I even talk about sports. And my pen fell. And that probably means that it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. But I want to play this song. Oh no, I was riding in this. I'm going on TikTok. I already have a following on TikTok. I'm going on TikTok. But I feel like if I go on TikTok, they're going to shut down TikTok because of all the stuff that's going on. But any case, memes will recover though. Memes will make a comeback. And I do believe, I can't believe that I agree. Bengal Tiger, you are beautiful. Great pictures yesterday. Just like I was just worried and concerned about your tongue. That's all. I was concerned about your tongue. But I can't believe I'm agreeing with Hanak. This is a first. I can't believe I agree with Akil today. And I can't believe I agree with Hanak. Memes. If people get into the right memes and they take out at the right time, memes will have people in the multi-millions versus just positioning their money into assets that are just going to do a 3 to 6x to 8x at most 10. So on that note, this has been the Breakdown episode 552. Guys, I'm back on a Monday. Look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm gorgeous, man. You know it. Your girl knows it. Even your man knows it. And I don't go that way, but I'm just saying, even he's acknowledged, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is what I can't believe he's even a crypto bro. I've never seen somebody look so handsome and they're in crypto and they got their hair and they look so young. And hey, I'm just saying, people have told me. Anyway, I'll be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune into all our shows, all the media personalities, all the future media personalities that are coming on. Shout out to the audience. Thank you very much for always tuning in. Appreciate you guys supporting me. Look at this. This guy's trying to pump Augie like crazy. By the way, show your bags. Show your bags. It is okay to show your bags. I don't understand why people get into assets or collectibles and they don't want to talk about them for the fear of being kicked out of a chat. Who cares? Show your bag. Okay. You guys show your photographs. You guys show your cars. You show your houses. You show the fucking sandwiches you want to eat. You show your water. You show your workouts. Bro, like show your assets. You put money into it. Might as well tell the world that you're in it. Be like Tesla. Okay. All the people that go into Tesla, they talk about Tesla. Okay, they talk about Tesla. They talk about the stocks they bought. They talk about the cars they bought. They talk about the goddamn solar panels that they bought. They talk and talk and talk. So do not be afraid to show your goddamn bag. That's the whole point. You're supposed to be showing your bag. Anyway, that's another thing that Bitcoiners do well. They show their bags, man. They will show their bags like crazy. But let me go ahead and I want to leave you guys with some quotes because you know I do the quote of the day shit, right? So let me go ahead and hit you with some quotes. All right, let's hit with quotes. All right, ready? Here are the quotes of the day. I lifted up the eyebrow. Quiet grind, loud results. Move like a ghost, hit like a hammer. Here's one that I like. A lot. Most people don't want to be part of the process. They just want to be part of the outcome. But the process is where you figure out who's worth being part of the outcome. I'll read that again. For anybody building, for anybody building, most people don't want to be part of the process. They just want to be part of the outcome. But the process is where you figure out who's worth being part of that outcome. And one more for good measure. I like this one as well. A lot. People left when the house was falling apart, not knowing I was tearing it down to build a mansion. I just wanted to see who was going to grab a hammer. I'm going to say this one more time because the dogs barked. People left when the house was falling apart, not knowing I was tearing it down to build a mansion. I just wanted to see who was going to grab a hammer. And on that note, my name is David Gokhshtein. I am the CEO of the GNN Network. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you on the nightly recap with obviously the intern who's going, or the interns who are going to give me all the news of the day and make sure to put in things, awkward things that I don't want to say. So tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also tune in to Julie Kennis, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's doing crypto news on YouTube. Also at 2 p.m. right now, you got two things you can go and tune into, and that is the Griff Report with Hotep Jesus. Go tune into him. And also Money Maxie's. Tune into that show. Okay? Tune into that show. All crypto talk. That's right. All crypto talk. You got to love it. On that note, my name is Gokhshtein, David Gokhshtein, and I'm out.